The Advanced Frame Inflatable Kayak was a solution to us for a logistical problem we faced when we did a trip to Fraser Island some years ago, and I wanted to video one of the swims I was going to do. We didn't have any roof space on the car, so we had to get something that was a good compromise between portability and affordability while still having some level of performance. It's 3.2 meters long, 81 centimeters wide, weighs approximately 16 kilograms, has a carrying capacity of 136 kilograms, and is of a hybrid design, somewhere between a folding and inflatable kayak that you would normally find. It has aluminium ribs, a tracking fin, and is made of very durable 600 denier polyester PVC laminate in a diamond ripstop material. Assembly is an easy process and only takes 10 minutes or so. You unfold the kayak, insert the inflatable floor, inflate the outer air chamber so it is about half full. Replace the cap. You then go to the inner main air chamber and you do the same process, except you blow this up until the outer part of the kayak is firm. Now, some people say this is close to 2 psi. I just do it until it's firm and do it to feel. Replace the cap on the inner air chamber. You then inflate the floor. Now, the floor that comes with the kayak is a standard inflatable floor that you pump up to 1 psi, but there is a drop stitch version available that you can pump up to 5 psi, and that's a lot stiffer. And I'll test this later on in the video as well. You then move to the deck lifts, which just lift the front of the kayak a little bit higher up. There's one on each side. Inflate them both to about 1 psi. Insert the plastic inserts to the front and the back of the kayak. You then inflate the deck coaming on both sides, and again this is to 1 psi. If you have a spray skirt, you can attach that round this if the weather is bad. You then attach the seat with a clip on both sides. And you can also attach the seat from behind. You can store some things behind the seat if you need to, like water and food. You can also get another seat with lumbar support, and I've got one of those as well. During some of the early testing of the kayak, I wanted to compare the standard floor and the more firmer drop stitch floor, so I did a timed lap around a 6.4 measured course. Well, I've just done about 6.4 measured kilometres, 6.8 kilometres in total. At a reasonable pace, something reasonably comfortable, with a couple of little spurts here and there because just so the GPS could measure what the maximum speed was. All in all, how did it compare, the inflatable kayak to a regular kayak? Pretty good, to be honest. Compared to other off-the-shelf inflatable kayaks, no comparison. It's very much what you get what you pay for. I wouldn't say it's quite as fast as our Tarpon 120, but it's not far away. And yeah, it was much like paddling a normal kayak. So I'm rather relieved at that because we've paid something like $1,700, $1,100 off the shelf, and we got some accessories. Although I wasn't using too many of those today, it had to be said. Improvements that we can make. Paddle. I want to get a lighter paddle. We have talked about getting a carbon paddle that basically you can take down to 4 pieces and put away in a small area. They're not cheap, but I think a carbon paddle will be a good addition to this. Haven't used the spray skirt today. Haven't felt that I needed it. When I tried it on at the beginning, it didn't seem to fit that well, so I'll have to have a bit more of a look at that. Yeah, reasonably comfortable with the original floor, and during the week I should be able to pick up the lumbar support seat, which we had to get fixed, and see how much of a difference that makes. But all in all, I'm pretty impressed. Good morning everyone, I'm at West Lakes again for another test of the Advanced Frame Kayak. Going to do exactly what we did a week ago. Do a 6.4 paddle around the island, starting at the marker buoys at the northern end of the canoeing course. This time we've got the drop stitch floor installed, which is a lot stiffer. This is pumped up to 5 psi. The other one was only pumped up to, I think it was either 1 or 2 psi. It was more of a lilo kind of floor. So that should be a lot stiffer. I'm not sure what it's going to be like for comfort, but if you look at the bottom of the kayak, already you'll see it's a lot more stiffer. So hoping we make better time. Going to take the GPS again and measure it, and I'm going to get back to you afterwards and we'll report in as to how it compared. Well, I've finished my lap around Delphin Island testing out the drop stitch floor. It was pretty interesting. Overall, I think I felt within myself a lot stronger this week, and that might have impacted a little bit on the results, but if I'm to believe the GPS results, it's definitely faster. As a bit of a comparison, I've written down the comparison here. With the standard floor, average speed was 5.3 kilometers per hour, which is a pace of 11.21 minutes per kilometre, and an overall time of 1 hour, 12 minutes and 30 seconds. I think I was paddling a little bit more conservatively, as I hadn't paddled for quite a while. Today, drop stitch floor, average speed 5.6 kilometres per hour, so 0.3 faster. That's a pace of 10.41 minute per kilometre, and an overall time of 1 hour, 8 minutes and 11 seconds. So
That's like 4 minutes 20 seconds faster or thereabouts. I actually thought it felt a little bit faster than that again, but I think what happened is when I got to the Northern Lake, at the end of the paddle, I was going into the wind, which made it a little bit more difficult. But overall, pretty good. Comfort wasn't terrible, but I do think the drop stitch floor is less comfortable than the standard inflatable floor, which you only pump up to like 2 psi. Is it worthwhile putting up with that for the drop stitch floor? Time will tell. I think we'll have to continue trying both different options out. But it was a good paddle, and overall it continues to impress me, the Advanced Frame Kayak.
Disassembly of the Advanced Frame Kayak is easy. You remove the plastic inserts from the front and back. You then open all the valves, generally starting from the inside. Move to the coaming. And for the 2 major chambers, you can remove the cap, and then you just depress the valve and move to the left, which will put it in the open locked position. Same with the outer one. Remove the cap, depress the valve and lock to the left position, and the air should come out. Remove the floor. Squeeze out some of the air so it fits in the bag. Similarly with a kayak, you fold the kayak up. It doesn't have to be done perfectly, but if you move the front and the back into the middle, you'll find it should then be able to fold over and fit in the bag. Put some weight on it, push the air out of it, put the plastic inserts inside so they don't get damaged and they're out of the way. And then because it's a 16 kilogram kayak, light but not one of the lightest in the range, I just move it upside down, put the bag on from the bottom, put it on as far as I can, and then I turn it back over and let the weight of the kayak do the rest of the job, and just pull it up so it fits neatly inside it. Then it's just a case of putting the remainder of the items inside the bag and zipping it up, and you're done. I found the Advanced Frame Kayak to be a really good addition to our equipment, particularly when we're going out and doing videos. Very portable, pretty good value for money, and very durable, and I highly recommend it.